Hey everyone, Brian from Bearable Traders here. It is Wednesday, September 1st, first day of the month, and thought I'd celebrate coming of September by sitting outside here at a coffee shop and doing the midweek market review. So here we go. Let's take a look at how the markets have been trading this week and try to look ahead, see what we got coming down the pipe for the remainder of the week. Okay, so we've moved it back into the office here, a little quieter. And let's start out by looking at some of the numbers that we were expecting out on Wednesday. One of them was the ADP employment report. You can see this was the forecast number of 600,000. Came in way weaker than the number that was expected. And of course, bad news is good news for the market. Of course, that could mean that Fed continues to print money here. So I'm taking it the market like that number, even though it wasn't a good number. And the PMI, of course, expected 61.2, we got 61.1, so really not much difference there. ISM a little bit stronger than expected, and construction spending was up a little bit. So what have we got coming here with the rest of the week? Here's the big one, this non-farm payrolls coming in on Friday, and looking for a number of about 720,000. So I think that will be probably one of the big numbers that everyone will be looking for as that gets released at 8:30 on Friday morning. And always before we jump into the indexes here, going through the markets, I like to throw a little quick ad for my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's like I said, they're on Amazon. So how to swing trade. So let's take a look at the indexes and try to figure out where things are going for the rest of the week here. You can see we've been up and down on the 10-year yield, up a little bit as of the printing of this. It could be a little bit late on this. The numbers aren't always updated on this chart right away. The TLT gives us a better read on this, so the yields were down a little bit today. You can see a pretty tight inside day. As I marked here before, it looks like we're really narrowing into a wedge here, pennant as it's called, and definitely looking for some kind of a break out of this pennant here. But today, again, just a real tight range on the price of the treasuries, the 20-year, and so it was down a little bit today, and of course, but up from yesterday. So again, not much movement today on the yield or the price of the bonds there. So you can see here RSI down around 50. Everything's kind of flattening out, waiting for some new direction to take hold here. Transports, again, we popped back up after a sell-off yesterday and off the high of the day, and we seem to be maybe putting in a lower high here. This was a second top here, lower than the first top. So we'll be keeping an eye on this. We may, again, just be getting into a sort of a trading range here, because I can kind of see a pennant as well. If you connect these two, three tops and bottoms here, it looks like we're narrowing into a range as well. Stochastics rolling over a little bit. RSI right in the middle, no momentum one way or another. The Dow, again, well off the high of the day and finished in the red just fractionally. Again, kind of looks like we're putting in a bit of a higher low or a double top here. A lower high, I should say. I always get those confused. But you can see we're sitting right on this 20 moving average, which is pretty much, provided support, and a couple times we lost support there and traded below it. But we could be looking at a bit of a pullback here. We'll see what happens. Volume was not bad today in comparison to the previous days. The IWM was one of the better indexes today, and it has been over the last yesterday and today. The RSI is still curling up here. Stochastics looking very strong to the upside. So we've had a really nice bounce here after we came off this low. And again, kind of an indecision candle today. We really didn't. We're well off the highs of the day, but also really well off the lows of the day. So again, we are into a range here that looks a little bit heavy in terms of buying and selling. So we're going to definitely have some resistance moving up through this level and getting through to 230, 232. So Again, could be a choppy day Thursday as we wait for that payroll number. Again, if it's going to be strong, that'll probably mean that the Fed is going to be for sure tapering, and that might be bad for the markets. And if it's weak, it'll be good for the markets. Not necessarily the labor force, but good for the markets. The Qs, again, we really this is almost a gravestone doji here, or it is a gravestone doji. You can see here we kind of topped out well off the high of the day, went out pretty close to the low of the day on the Qs. RSI up in the 70. Volume has been building a little bit over the last 5 or 6 days. You can see here volume picking up a bit. Looks like maybe the stochastics are rolling over here. But again, definitely putting in some topping pattern on the Qs today. And the SPY, kind of the same comment here. It looks like we're putting in a bit of a topping pattern. Definitely a gravestone doji, although not much of a range today, like seem to have had on a number of these charts here. Volume to the downside yesterday was picking up, and today it was a little bit more higher than sort of previous couple days. Again, stochastics look like they're kind of rolling over here, and RSI flattening out. So I suspect we're going to be I think we're going to get sort of flattish here for the next day or two. And again, depending on what the payroll number comes out on Friday at, maybe we'll drive the markets one way or another. Dollar still pretty weak here. We were off this low of the day, which looks like it kind of fell to support level here. But again, dollar is looking weak. Volume was picking up a bit on it. RSI below 50. Stochastics still heading lower here. Rallies tend to fade on stochastics that are below 50 and heading lower until we find a bottom here, and then maybe turn back up, but we'll keep an eye on that. The VIX, again, indecision candle, finished down on the day, 2.25% after a bit of a pop yesterday. So again, the VIX, no sign of fear in the market. So let's take a quick look at some of the trades we've got on this week. And I mentioned on the weekend video, I was watching the Chinese stocks. I thought they were looking like they were putting in a bottom here. You can see a sort of an indecision candle here on Friday. And we had a really nice, what looked like a rally starting on Monday. So I had those on my watch list. So I got into BABA, and I also got into KWeb, and exited most of those positions today, but really had a nice move up on BABA from 160 to 172-ish. 173 was where it went out the day, but I think it was a high of 170, almost got to 175. So took most of that position off, but a really nice swing trade over the last couple days. EPI, as I've mentioned this for, I think I've been in this for a week or two now, and it's still creeping higher. I know a few of the other traders are in on this. Volume pretty light today, but we are still definitely in an uptrend, and I can expect we'll continue. We might end up doing a bit of a pullback here, might get a little bit of a overbought on the RSI, but I still liking this one for the long term and just holding on to that one. This is a Canadian stock, Ether. Been holding this through this chop, and now we had a nice breakout today. So Ether, that's how I'm playing cryptos. I've been in Ford. You know what? I gave up on the Ford trade today. I'm really still not liking it. I'll get back into it if we can break above this 20 moving average. But again, there was an announcement came out that they were cutting production again on the F-150 because of lack of parts. So I just decided to exit from that call trade, which was while there was still some premium in it. That was calls that were expiring next January. KWeb, again, this was another way I was playing the Chinese bounce. Call it the Chinese bounce. You can see here a nice reversal on Monday. That's when we got involved. And again, just really took a lot of that position off now because we're back up into an area where I think there's going to be some resistance. But still have a small position left on it because it still is in an uptrend here. So Moderna, I've just been playing with calls. When we bottomed out here, I sold some sold some puts and sold some calls today after it kind of rolled over. So I'm kind of got it bracketed, some naked puts and naked calls, but very small size because it's a bit of a risky trade. Scan is just a small cap that I'm playing on the, I guess that's a TSX Venture Exchange. U-Bot, here's another one. Flagged this one on this breakout, and we've had just a beautiful run here. Nice move to the upside from 45, and now we're closing in on 50 here, so still long that one as well. And that's about it. Okay, so let's take a quick look at some stocks, and I'm watching DD, which is again a Chinese software stock. It's kind of benefited today from the pop in all the Chinese stocks here, but this is a nice looking chart. Obviously it hasn't been trading for very long because that's all we've got here, but I'm looking at this one. Maybe we'll see what happens tomorrow, but this 1050 level looks like an area we could be heading to. It's another $1.30 from here when we broke out from about $9, so 20-cent risk. Liking that one. DraftKings appears to me to be trying to break out here. It looks like we're forming a bit of an ascending triangle. This 60 level is resistance, so watching this one tomorrow. If we do manage to break out above this sort of 60-50 level and hold above it, it's could be up for a nice move higher. Not really liking the volume. The volume's pretty meager on it, and so just keeping an eye on DraftKings. Energy Transfer, still keeping an eye on this one. Haven't entered it yet, but it does look like it's trying to hold this 920 level, and possible for a move higher. LABU, kind of late on this one. I wish I'd have picked it up a little bit earlier, but we are through an area of two areas of prior resistance, one here and one here. And breaking out, I think LABU probably goes higher. It's just a question of getting a decent entry. Possibly look at that for tomorrow as well. Moderna, again, I've already talked about that. Skin's another one. This one's really extended. You can see here we're getting quite a ways from the moving average, so I'm almost waiting for it to give us a bit of a pullback here, but we're very well established uptrend, and we'll just set an alert probably around 25 and it's fired off and see what it looks like at that point. TGTX, like the move today here, probably going to get a bit of a pullback tomorrow, but again, probably a good opportunity to buy this one. RSI is looking good, Stochastic's looking good, MACD heading higher. ZIM, I keep missing this one. I missed this one on the pullback. Did get an alert, I just got distracted, didn't buy into it. Unfortunately, now we've broken out. I think ZIM goes higher. We had great volume today on ZIM as well, so look at that one tomorrow as well. So wrap it up, quick look at how the pre-market's looking right now, but you can see here pretty flat both on the Dow, the S&P 500, NASDAQ's up a little bit more, and Russell of course flat as well. So we're looking pretty flat right now. As I said earlier, I think a lot of traders are going to be watching for that employment report on Friday, so we may end up with a bit of a choppy day tomorrow. Again, probably an indecision day, and waiting for that number on Friday morning. So we'll see what that brings. So that's it, everybody. Have a great rest of the evening, and of course you can join us on YouTube Live at 8 o'clock in the morning. We going through the pre-market show. Jared, I think, does a cryptocurrency thing on Friday morning, starting at 8 o'clock, and then of course trading the markets at 9:30 when the markets open. So have a great rest of the evening, everybody, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.